preaching, they intend to change other religions. So
When he was preaching to them, he said, I'm Muslim, I don't change my religion, why should I preach?
Well, the fact is that we understand the concept of preaching. If it is based on arbitrary desires, that you should change other people's religions, then it is wrong. It has no justification. You are quite right. If somebody comes to you and wants you to change your religion, you go to take your road and do what you may. But this is my religion, that is your religion. But there is nothing arbitrary about it in Islamic attitude, in every sane attitude. People try to change the political ideas of others, the social ideas of others, and if they do it through persuasion and not through coercion, it is accepted in the society. The labor preaches for the labor philosophy of life, and the conservatives preach for the conservative philosophy of life, and they go on changing sides from time to time. This is why sometimes you find a labor government in power, and sometimes a conservative government in power. So what is this going on? Why people change side or want other people to change side? Because they think their doctrine, their concept of things is better for mankind than the doctrine or concept held by the opposition or by the other people. So if you think you are in the right and you are serious about it, it is a natural desire in you to see that other people also follow the same path, which will lead them to a better way of life. And if preaching is born out of this desire, then it is good and it is beneficial for the mankind. If it is born out of just a desire for gaining strength and grandeur and more power, to sway power over others, then you have no right to preach at all. Then your attitude is correct, that I don't change my religion and you don't change your religion. So in religions, this is the motive force of preaching. As long as you understand Islam and you think it is better for the ultimate good of mankind and for every individual in his future life to come, then it will be very selfish on your part if you don't preach, won't it? So then you invite others and tell them that if you think that your way of life is better, both in application here in this world and in the afterworld, then you preach to me. You should encourage preaching, both ways. So if you are ultimately convinced, for instance, that Christianity is a better way of life, you shouldn't stick to Islam because you are born here. And the vice versa is also true. Expect your friends to come into agreement with you on this principle is so, that we should only follow truth as we understand it. So it's just an attempt to make other people see your point of view in religion and to make them agree to the fact that what you believe is not only right, but it is a better way of life for him than what he believes in. What is wrong there? Why shouldn't he change sides then? Now you understand this point? Is it time for prayer, or would someone like to ask a question or two? Yes, please. Well, please go to the microphone and you make your observation there.
Observation. Where there are a lot of Christians, Jews, and some other.
Yes.
And during the lunchtime, we go to a restaurant and eat. I'll be Muslim, I don't eat pork, and yes.
And the Jews don't eat pork either.
Yes.
The Jews don't eat pork either, so you have company. Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
But see, when I told her later that I don't eat pork, and I told the book as well, that there is a lot of interest that why we don't
Created,
eat
yes,
pork.
that's right.
So I keep telling them that I'm Muslim, and there's a lot of reasons for it. But, you know, they wouldn't agree with me. So I was really fed up. One day, one Christian asked me, why don't you eat this pork? And I just asked him on to Christian as well. So he said, how? I said, well, in Christianity you must not be eating pork. So I don't eat pork. I'm a good Christian as well. So after that, they don't object to it.
That's good. Thank you. You know, once I had an experience like this, not like this, but your statement has reminded me of that. Way back in 1956, I think, I was a student at the University of London, and I went to eat at the refectory. The lunch I always had there, and the dinner I cooked myself. So I went there and I stood in the line, the queue. That day, the lady which used to serve us was not there, and she knew very well that I wouldn't eat this and wouldn't eat that, and so there was no problem for me. There was another young girl standing in her place. So sometimes I found that when you said I don't eat pork, they would give you bacon, if not pork or bacon, that sort of thing. So to emphasize the point, jokingly I said, look here lady, I don't eat the flesh of what you call swine, The flesh of swine is forbidden, and so I don't eat that. So everyone laughed and she, recorded the fact. And when I took the plate of whatever it was and sat on the table, another young man followed me who was a Pakistani. And after a while he shifted his position and came closer to me, closer and closer. And then ultimately I felt he wanted to be free with me, to say something to me. So I said, yes, what is it please? He said, who are you? He said, there are so many other Muslims, Pakistanis and Arabs, and they are eating pork freely. So what sort of Muslim are you? He said, I am not a Muslim, I am also Muslim and I am eating pork. So why don't you? I said, because I belong to Ahmadiyya community and we mean what we do, what we say. That is the only difference. So then he, kept quiet for a while, I could see him crestfallen and a bit depressed after this answer. And then he said, do you know what? I said, what? He said, I am the son of an Ahmadi leader who is the greatest opponent of Ahmadiyya in the region where I live in Pakistan. And so much so that Ataullah Shah Bukhari, whenever he visits our place, he comes to stay with us. And then he started disclosing certain habits of these religious leaders, they do this and that and that. And I'm thinking that they used to tell me that you are the worst people on earth and you have nothing to do with Islam and all this, and you are the only person who is behaving like this, and I'm really surprised. So I want to know more, and he became very friendly. And then we didn't exchange addresses, we sat there and chatted, and I could see a special affinity in his eyes for me and my way of life and all that. So we got separated. In 1983, I received a message from someone, some political Muslim leader here, that he wanted to see me. And he came and saw me and we discussed things of this and that. And suddenly I looked at his face, I said, are you the boy who met me in 1956 at the University of London refectory and said this to me? And he jumped and embraced me and said, yes, I'm the boy. I was also saying, I was wondering, I have seen you somewhere and,